good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for coming tonight. I know there's a lot of things that you could be doing, but we appreciate you making the time to be with us today, and this shows your commitment to your child's education. So we appreciate you taking the time out today. So I'd like to begin. We've done this for a couple of years now, before our mock schedule night, before you all meet with the teachers, just to give you an idea of some school-wide things that are going on. And my goal tonight is to highlight more of the new things, but I encourage you to continue to keep updated with us through our communications. There's lots going on, and we want to make sure that you are aware of everything. All right, so this is not new. This is our school vision, but it guides what we do. So empower every child, the whole child. And we're really about meeting the child where they are. And we know that we're a big school, but we don't want it to feel that way. We want to feel like a family and a community. We want to know your child. We want to know you. And we want to have that partnership with you because it takes a village to raise kids, and we want to build our faith community. So this is really what drives everything that we do and is the basis for a lot of things I'm going to talk about today. So this year, our school theme is Be Kind, and we have a theme for 2 years. And typically our theme is based on something with our Catholic identity. So kindness is even mentioned in the Bible several times, and it really is more than just random acts of kindness. It's how we're called to treat each other as Christians, even when it's not easy. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of research that came behind the choice for the theme this year. And there's a book called Deep Kindness by Houston Kraft, and he talks about what is really the meaning of kindness and how do you take it beyond just that surface level. And one of the things that he introduces is there was a Harvard study, and it was about how parents view what is important for kids to value. So most parents agree that developing kind and caring kids should be prioritized over kids' achievements. However, according to the study, 80% of children think that their parents or teachers are more concerned about achievement or happiness than caring for others. And this is referred to as the rhetoric or reality gap. And then it goes on to share that when children don't prioritize caring for others or caring for themselves, then it leads to more conflict, disrespect, and a host of other things. So really at the root of what we're trying to do is build that capacity for loving self and loving others and demonstrating kindness just like Jesus did. And we're also wanting to go beyond just the surface level kindness and thinking about how kindness is not always common because kindness is not free. If you think about it, when you do something kind, you are giving up something. Maybe you're giving up your time, or maybe you're giving up priority, maybe it's something uncomfortable. So when you are really demonstrating kindness, you are taking time out of your day to think about somebody else. So one of the things that he shares, the author shares, is how we can foster that in our students to let them know that, yes, it might take something of them, but it is important, and it's part of what we value. So I share this for you today because we're looking for your partnership, and we're hoping that you can model kindness for your students in your interactions with others, and also encourage them to work through conflicts from a place of consideration and thinking about others' perspectives. So next I want to talk about what's new. So we have some facilities updates. We were able to expand our epoxy flooring and some paint to the rest of our classrooms, and thinking about our junior high and our STEM lab. We also redid our STEM lab, so took out the rows of computers. You can see now we have more of a modular furniture and open space for them to be able to do things like makerspace and robotics and things that take up more space. So we're really excited to be able to offer that for our kiddos. Also some not so fun, fancy things, but our HVAC, we're working on that. Our heat pump replacement, we're working on LED lighting throughout the campus. So we have a great facilities team that's really been working hard to make sure that we're addressing any needs, and we're also being proactive to keep up our facilities. Also, our technology, we are investing in our technology to make sure our students have access to the tools that they need to be successful in a 21st century learning environment. So with the remainder of our EANS money, we were able to purchase iPads for every kindergarten through 4th grade student, and those are being processed right now, so they'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks. We have a rotation of our interactive boards that are replaced every few years to make sure that they are in top shape for our teachers. Our STEM lab, we purchased some new materials so the kids are able to work in groups and have more ability to do hands-on activities. We have a wood imprinting machine that was donated to us by St. X, so our kids will actually have access to be able to do some design work in wood. And then we are also upgrading our system to fiber internet, so we'll have faster speeds throughout the campus. So one thing we're bringing back this year is you can eat lunch with your child, but we're asking that it happen on designated days. So this is going to help us with our safety plan to make sure that we're keeping track of who's in the building and also help with supervision. So we will have Eat Lunch with Your Child on designated days, and the next day that's coming up is September 22nd. So that's a Friday. So if you would like to join us that day, you're welcome to do so. If you'd like to purchase lunch, please let the cafeteria know ahead of time so they can process your order that morning. So you would just sign in the office, and then you can go to cafeteria for lunch, and then you'll sign back out in the office. So thinking about our enrollment, sometimes people don't really know, how big are we? So this year we have 524 K through 8 students, and we have 140 preschool students. And I included some numbers from before so you all could see some trends. So in 2020 we had 620 students, 2021 643, 2022 677. And enrollment varies for a variety of reasons, but we are very excited to be building our program from the bottom up. So our preschool is at full capacity right now, and we have a wonderful percentage of students that stay on into our kindergarten program. We expanded to 4 kindergarten classes last year, and we've had 3 classes now above 70 students. So we had some smaller class sizes, and now we're rebuilding to increase that longevity. And then also we made a commitment to invest in our teachers and our school to remain at 3 classes per grade so that we could keep small class sizes. and it has paid off. So we're really thankful to everybody that's been working hard on that. Another thing that we started a few years ago is we give Regance assessments to all of our incoming kindergarten students. This is an assessment recommended by the Archdiocese to look for kindergarten readiness, and we also have a junior kindergarten program that we can recommend if students are showing that they're not quite ready for a full kindergarten program, then that gives them an extra year. So our school is part of the Archdiocese of Louisville. There is an Office of Catholic Schools. And the Archdiocese Office of Catholic Schools is in charge of some things. It's a little complicated, but one of the things that they help us with is curriculum. So this year we have new science standards, and the social studies standards are being reviewed. So every year we get new standards for one of the subject areas, and they're on a 6-year cycle. We also are changing our MAP testing this year, so we will now test all students K through 8 in reading and math. 3 through 8 also are tested in language. So hopefully that will give us more data to be able to make sure we're meeting the students where they are. So talking about curriculum, we have a new reading program called Amplify. And Amplify is built on skills and knowledge. So making sure that the kids have a good foundation as they move through the grade levels. And it is based on the science of reading, which is the latest research-based strategy to make sure we're using that to look at different ways that students learn to read and making sure that they have the components necessary to do so. Also, we're seeing that a lot of overlap with the Amplify with our science and social studies standards. So you may hear that the kids are not doing like a science class as much. We are supplementing with the knowledge base that's offered through the Amplify curriculum. So one of the things that we try to get kids away from is there's not subject areas in real life. So you don't just do math sometimes and then you do reading sometimes. They all overlap and go together. So helping kids understand that all of this is related. We're also continuing our accelerated program in our 8th grade. So they are accelerated for English, math, and literature. Excuse me, they have the option to be accelerated. We have one class that moves at a faster pace for those subject areas and allows for extra challenge for those students. So we are continuing that program this year, and there's a possibility to expand it to other grade levels depending on how that goes. So uniques, we do have a change for kindergarten this year. We've added a unique class, so they can have a unique for every day. So the class we added is called Catechesis of the Good Shepherd. It's a Montessori-based program that introduces the faith experience. So everything is their size, and they learn about the liturgy as well as different components. And then 7th and 8th grade, we're continuing our electives, and we are very grateful to have some partners with us who provide additional teaching. So we introduced in the 3rd trimester last year, Academy of Music instructor is teaching guitar, and we also have 2 parishioners who teach our Discover Our World class, which works primarily in the garden and greenhouse. We also have ukulele, fiber arts, and engineering, which are new this year. So each trimester, we offer different options. So last year, as part of our EAMS initiative, which was the COVID relief funding for schools, we were able to work with Ms. Bunch, who's our reading interventionist. And then this year, we have decided to continue that program, so she has joined our faculty as a primary member. So she works with students in 2nd through 5th grade who need additional support in reading. So thinking about school improvement, I introduced our school improvement goals to you last year. School improvement is a continuous process, so we are going to be always looking forward of how can we improve. So some of the things that we're working on, we have grade level and student council service projects, our Frenzy program. We do Celebrate Our Differences in the spring. We have student participation in math. Our faculty do prayer groups and catechist development. And I put this statistics because some people don't realize. We have 86% of our students who are Catholic. So that means that 14% of our students are not Catholic, but they still participate in our religious program. And then governance and leadership is another domain of the Catholic standards and benchmarks. So we are focusing at a leadership level about how do we support students who need additional support than the Tier 1 instruction can provide in the general classroom. We also are working on our 2nd year of our Spirit expectations, and we have professional development for staff. And then academics, thinking about, we have our PLC model for our faculty where they work in groups at least monthly, and they're using map data. We're expanding our standards-based grading to 2nd grade, and then also working on priority standards to make sure that students are prepared for the next level. Thinking about our operational vitality, that's one of the things that goes on in the background, but it's still very important to keep our school viable. And so one of the things that we had a goal for was to increase our racial and ethnic diversity, and we did meet that goal. 19.79% of our students are non-white. So that also brings to the forefront that we need to make sure that we are addressing the needs of diverse families and thinking about how we approach that in the classroom. So we will have continued professional development in that. We are also moving toward a FACS enrollment system. So you are familiar with FACS through the tuition payment system. We are adding another element to that. So instead of the online registration program where you have a separate login, this year you will register through FACS. So that will all be combined into one program. And then the plan is next year, FACS will replace PowerSchool. So it will all be in one system, and it will also replace Reach Alert. So the goal is to combine those programs so you don't have as many passwords to remember. So most of you are familiar with our Spirit. This is based on our expectations for our students. You're going to see signs in our hallways. We have a new learning environment committee that's really working on boosting our building to make sure that we are providing a great learning environment for our students and setting those expectations for students so they know what they should be doing before we tell them that they're not meeting expectations. So they need to know what we expect before that happens. One thing that's new is the conduct referral and the tab form have been combined. So this is related to grades 3 through 8. So if you hear that, it's all on one form and it comes home to you so you can see exactly what happened. The teacher and the student fill that out together. So wanted to let you know that's different. And the late assignment slips, we are doing those again this year. Those need to be signed and then come back with the assignment. And also a change is that if students do not return a slip that is supposed to be signed, then they will receive a conduct referral. So please make sure that you are helping us out with that. Uniforms, we have a change. The students can wear one bracelet and girls may wear 2 dime-sized earrings, but only in the earlobe. And also, just a reminder about skirts, please make sure they're to the top of the knee. We have been more lenient with uniforms during COVID because we had a lot of other things going on, but we tell the students that it is their personal responsibility to be in uniform, and so we are working on enforcing that this year, so we appreciate your help with that. Most of you are familiar with Spirit Days. Those will continue. Please remember that Spirit Days are not jeans days, so they can wear your uniform or PE bottoms. So my challenge to you is to think that each of you is part of our community and needs to commit to making St. Gabriel a safe and welcoming place. So it takes all of us to make sure that we are building the kind of community that we want. So thinking about our partnership, we have the same goal. So we are all adults and we're working to support the student, and we all want what's best for the child. Please don't wait to communicate. If you have a frustration or a question, please reach out to the person that can help you. Venting somewhere else is okay if it's constructive. If it's not solution-based, then it's not worth doing. It only brings down our community and negativity. Please be realistic about what's going on in the school. Kids make mistakes, and your child may do something that you don't like that they did it, but that's okay. We are here to help them learn from their mistakes so that they don't make them again. Also, please assume positive intent. I'm looking at all of our staff right now. They are here to show their support for you all, and they want what's best for your child. They are in this business to help your child. So please assume positive intent from the beginning, and then we can work together. Also, don't spread rumors. That hurts our community as a whole. If people hear that things are going on and you don't actually know that it's true, don't be part of the problem. So please make sure that you're only sharing information that you actually know what's going on. And if you need some clarification or if you have a question, you can reach out to us and we will talk with you. And that goes again with please contact the person that's involved if you have a question. So if you have a question about what happened in the classroom and you call me, my first thing I do is I go to the teacher and I say, hey, what happened? And then we work together. But if you just went to the teacher first, then you probably could have saved a couple of steps. So go to that person first, and then if you're not able to resolve the issue, then you can come to the next level. And then please model respectful interactions with in front of your child. So that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning about being kind and modeling that. If you have a disagreement with somebody, then show your student how that they should be acting when they talk to other people. And please don't talk poorly about staff in front of your child. I understand you may have frustrations, and that is okay, but when you talk negatively about in front of your child, then they hear that and they internalize that. And that's not good for the relationship for anybody. So we appreciate your help with that. We try to communicate in a variety of ways. If you are not getting our communications, please reach out to the office so we can make sure your information is updated. The number one thing you need to make sure you're on is Reach Alert. That's our emergency notification system and important reminders. So if you are not on that, that's the number one thing you need to be on. And then if you need to communicate with us, all of our email addresses are on the school website. You can email us, you can call us. Please make sure that you are contacting the person that can help you. So that is all for me, but thank you for your attention, and we really appreciate your partnership. And the last thing I would like is if you are a staff member, will you please stand so we can recognize you and thank you? Let's recognize their hard work. These teachers worked countless hours over the summer to get ready for this school year, and I can tell because we have had the smoothest start that I have ever had to our school year, and I am so grateful to each of you all. So thank you. So I'm going to let you all go first so you can get ready for your presentations. So the next part will be in the classrooms for kindergarten through 4th grade. 5th and 6th grade will be in the cafeteria. 7th and 8th grade will be in the junior high commons. And we will have 25-minute sessions. There will be multiple sessions in case you have multiple children. All right, thank you all. Have a good night.